Lesson 1.3. Have you ever seen? Warming up. Words that have the same spelling but differ in meaning when used in different contexts are called homographs. For example, a temple fair attracts a lot of crowd. Her performance in the test was fair. B. A rose is the king of flowers. The sun rose with a golden glow. Think of 5 homographs and list them below. Then write 2 sentences of your own to bring out the difference in meanings. Homograph. First one, close. The first meaning is shut. Did you close the windows before leaving the house? The second meaning is near. The post office is close to the bank. Then second word, bat. First meaning, the bat which is used in the cricket. Tom has a strange way of holding his cricket bat. The second meaning is an animal. We often see bats in our garden in the late night. Then next word, fly. The first meaning is move through the air. I love to watch the birds fly in the open sky. The second meaning, an insect. I hated the experience when I found a fly in my soup. Next word, left. First meaning is direction. When you reach the end of the road, turn left. Second meaning, past tense of leave. She left the office at 5 p.m. Next, minute. First meaning, time. The dinner isn't ready and my mother was told us to wait for a minute. Second meaning, extremely small. The teacher asked the students to pay attention to the minute details of the experiment. When words with the same spelling or pronunciation are used in such a way that they convey more than one meaning, the figure of speech involved is called pun. A pun is a play upon words. For example, hello, how's life? Hello, it's a strife. Find other examples of pun with the help of your parents or teachers. The first one, when his wife died, he cried for a second. That means, for 1 second he cried, first meaning. Another one is for the second wife. Second example, living life depends on the liver. One is the person who is living, another one is liver. Third, you cannot buy a cap for your knee. Fourth, don't cross the bridge of your nose. In poetry, when a question is asked not to get an answer but to emphasize a point or fact, it is an example of interrogation. You have to learn the spelling of interrogation. It is double R will be there. For example, when can their glory fade? Isn't it time for the autumn's glow? From a popular book of poems or internet, write down 3-4 examples of interrogation used in poetry. First one, what is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. Second, who is here so vile that will not love his country? Third, what men or gods are these? Fourth, can flattery soothe the dull, cold ear of death?
Have you ever seen a sheet on a riverbed, or a single hair from a hammer's head? Has the foot of a mountain any toes? And is there a pair of garden hose? Does the needle ever wink its eye? Why doesn't the wing of a building fly? Can you tickle the ribs of a parasol? Or open the trunk of a tree at all? Are the teeth of a rake ever going to bite? Have the hands of a clock any left or right? Can the garden plot be deep and dark? And what is the sound of the bird's bark?
Have you ever seen? Now, in the poem, the poet makes beautiful use of homographs. That means two words that have the same spelling but have a different meaning. And puns, a figure of speech where a form of wordplay uses multiple meanings of a term or similar sounding words for humorous effect. Let us go to the summary of the poem. In the first stanza, the poet talks about a sheet for a river bed and hair for a hammer's head. These words are puns, as a sheet here means a bed sheet, but the river bed means the bottom of the river and has no relation to a bed. The top of a hammer is called the hammer's head. The poet talks about the human head and refers to hammer's head as hairless. The foot of the mountain means the base of the mountain and has no relation to the human foot and hence doesn't have toes like the human foot does. The poet further refers to a garden hose, which is a flexible tube used to water plants, that he compares to its homograph hose, which means a pair of stockings. In the second stanza, the poet refers to the needle's eye and wonders if it winks like a human eye. The wings of a building are being compared to the wings of birds. Here, he is assuming that just like the wings of the birds help them to fly, the wings of the building should also help them to fly. The ribs of an umbrella are homographically spoken about as if they are ribs of the human body which we can tickle. Here parasol means umbrella. Can you tickle the ribs of a parasol or open the trunk of a tree at all? Then he talks about the trunk of a tree and the object trunk, a large wooden box for storing clothes, and is asking whether the tree trunk will open like a trunk. In the last stanza, the poet has made a reference to the teeth of a rake, which he compares to human teeth, and he questions whether they can bite like human teeth do. He wonders whether the hands of the clock are right or left like human hands. He also asks if the garden's plot can be dark and deep like a story's plot. Finally, he questions whether the bark of a birch tree can make a sound like the bark of a dog. Thus, the poet makes use of amusing puns to bring about the dual meanings of certain words. Now, coming to the English workshop, from each line in the poem, pick out the word that is a homograph. Write its meaning in the context of the phrase used in the poem. Then write the other meaning implied in the question. Stanza, word, one meaning, other meaning. So the first stanza, you have the words bed, head, foot, hose. Bed, one meaning is piece of furniture, the other meaning is bottom of river, sea, etc. Now for the second one you have to write head, part of a human or animal body. The other meaning is the topmost part of an object. Your third word will be foot. One meaning is part of a human body. The other meaning is the base of a mountain. Next word will be hose. One meaning is a flexible tube. The other meaning is a pair of stockings or tights. Now coming to the second stanza, the first word will be eye. One meaning is a sense organ due to which one can see. The other meaning is a loop or a hole that forms a part of an object, here of a needle. The second word will be wing. One meaning is various sections that a building is divided into. The other meaning is external body part of a bird that enables it to fly. Now coming to the third word, ribs. R-I-B-S, ribs. One meaning is series of long curved bones in a human body. The other meaning is a series of sticks, usually wooden, that shape and support something. The fourth word is trunk. One meaning is the upright part of a tree between roots and branches, a tree trunk. One meaning is a tree trunk. The other meaning is a large suitcase, S-U-I-T-C-A-S-E. Now coming to the third stanza, the first word is teeth, part of the human body. The other meaning is the front part of a rake used to collect fallen leaves. Now the second word will be hands, part of the human body. The other meaning is hands of a clock that show the time of the day. The third word is plot, a piece of land. The other meaning is an evil or wicked plan. Now the fourth word will be bark, the sound made by a dog. The other meaning is external part of a tree trunk. Now write 2 lines from this poem which you find most humorous. Justify your choice. The first one will be, does the needle ever wink its eye? Because the thought that putting thread through its eye will make it wink is funny. And second one is, why doesn't the wing of a building fly? Because imagining a building flying with its wings is funny. Now, third question is, find from the poem 3 examples of each. First one is interrogation. Does the needle ever wing its eye? Why doesn't the wing of a building fly? And what is the sound of the bird's bark? All these 3 lines you have to pick up and write. Does the needle ever wing its eye? Why doesn't the wing of a building fly? And what is the sound of the bird's bark? So the second one, pun. You can write, has the foot of a mountain any toes? And is there a pair of garden hose? Can you tickle the ribs of a parasol? Once again I am repeating. Has the foot of a mountain any toes? And is there a pair of garden hose? Can you tickle the ribs of a parasol? See the third one. Personification. Does the needle ever wing its eye? Are the teeth of a rake ever going to bite? And what is the sound of the bird's bark? I repeat. Does the needle ever wing its eye? Are the teeth of a rake ever going to bite? And what is the sound of the bird's bark? Now coming to alliteration. Here alliteration spelling is given wrongly. Alliteration. Put one T here. So first one. A single hair from a hammer's head. Second one is, open the trunk of a tree at all. Third one is, can the garden plot be deep and dark? I repeat. A single hair from a hammer's head. Open the trunk of a tree at all. Can the garden plot be deep and dark? See the fourth question. Form groups of 4 or 5, so it is not possible today to do it. You can do this as homework. Think, discuss and add at least one more stanza using the same style and devices as the poet had used. It should include homographs, interrogation and the same rhyme and rhythm and rhyme scheme. So you have to make a poem and it should include homographs, interrogation and the same rhythm and rhyme scheme. See question number 5. Read the following sentences carefully. Then fill in the blanks using appropriate words from the brackets to make puns. So some words are given in brackets. And you all know what is a pun. Pun is a figure of speech where a form of word play uses multiple meanings of a term or similar sounding words for humorous effect. Pun is a figure of speech where a form of wordplay uses multiple meanings of a term or similar sounding words for humorous effect. So now we can fill this. She had a photographic memory but never dash it. The answer will be developed it. So this is the first one. Now, he was struggling to figure out how lightning works when it dashed him, when it struck him. So this is 2. Every calendar's days are dash, numbered. So this is 3. A bicycle cannot stand on its own because it is dash, too tired. I am reading a book on anti-gravity. It is impossible to dash the book. Put down the book. I would tell you a chemistry joke, but I know I wouldn't get a dash. Reaction. What do you call Watson when Sherlock isn't around? Homeless. I would tell a history joke, but it's too dash. Old-fashioned. Read Alice in Wonderland by Lewis. Now let us see the rhyme scheme of this poem. See this word bed. Bed, head, toes, hose, eye, fly, parasol, all, bite, right, dark, bark. So here we have the rhyme scheme. A. They are rhyming samely. Bed and head. A. Again toes and hose are rhyming samely. So this is B. Eye and fly. C. Parasol and all. D. Bite and right. E. Dark and bark. F. So the rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, D, E, F. You should not leave any space between A, B, C, D, E. You cannot leave any space in between them. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, D, E, F. Now we can go to the appreciation of the poem. You have to write an appreciation of the poem. Have you ever seen? So how will you write? First you will write the title of the poem, then the poet, then you will write the rhyme scheme, then figure of speech, then at last the central theme of the poem. So the title of the poem, all these you have to write in one paragraph only. The title of the poem is Have You Ever Seen? And the poet of the poem is unknown. All of you write it down. Write it as one paragraph. Appreciation of the poem. Put the topic as appreciation of the poem and write the answer. The title of the poem is have you ever seen? Write it like this. Start the paragraph like this. The title of the poem is Have You Ever Seen? And the poet of the poem is unknown. And the poet of the poem is unknown. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AA, BB, CC, DD, EE, FF. All small letters. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AA, BB, CC, DD, EE, FF. The poet has used poetic devices like interrogation, pun, personification, and alliteration throughout the poem. The poet has used poetic devices like interrogation, pun, personification, and alliteration throughout the poem. The poet has used poetic devices like interrogation, pun, personification, and alliteration throughout the poem. The central theme of the poem is how words in the English language have two meanings, and if they are not applied correctly, the result can be humorous. The central theme of the poem is how words in the English language have two meanings. The central theme of the poem is how words in the English language have two meanings, and if they are not applied correctly, the result can be humorous. The result can be humorous. By giving the examples, next line is, by giving the examples, the poet tries to point out how the sentence sounds strange even if one word is misunderstood. The last line is, by giving the examples, the poet tries to point out how the sentence sounds strange even if one word is misunderstood. Even if one word is misunderstood. In this poem, hose means a flexible tube, a pair of stockings or tights. Parasol means umbrella. Plot means, the word plot is also used to mean an evil or wicked plan. Birch means a tree. Now once again, coming to the appreciation of the poem, check how you answer, how you are written, whether you are written correctly or not. I am going to repeat it. Write appreciation of the poem. Question is, write an appreciation of the poem Have You Ever Seen? Answer will be, the title of the poem is Have You Ever Seen? And the poet of the poem is unknown. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AA, BB, CC, DD, EE, FF. The poet has used poetic devices like interrogation, pun, personification, and alliteration throughout the poem. The central theme of the poem is how words in the English language have two meanings, and if they are not applied correctly, the result can be humorous. By giving the examples, the poet tries to point out how the sentence sounds strange even if one word is misunderstood.